Elegy for Eamon and the Blood Moon. What defines loss? Does its apparent permanence only exist in waking life, and therefore only half the time, because half my life I spend asleep? And in my dreams, I can still walk into the house I grew up in the dark, and find the light switch. I can still see the patterns of the blankets on my bed, the perfect peak of Mount Diablo from my window. I can still peer up at bookshelves filled with books my mother once gave away, but that are here now in front of me, organized in rows, and I touch them and fan their worn pages. And outside, the blood moon still blazes, eclipse bows, blows blackened breath. For a moment, I think of you, covered in a similar darkness as the earth begins to retract her shaded immensity, and you must be watching, you must be watching. For when I sleep, there you are. Curly-haired and without the gray cloud that is cast over you when I try to remember you in my waking hours. You are small still when I hug you, but you hug me back in a warm and purposeful way, almost as if you are aware that you are dead, and the sensation of body to body is not something you will ever be able to experience again. Meanwhile, Nas plays on, live this time, and I want to send you the news, your favorite rapper live, and a blood moon shadow receding by the second, and it must be you casting off this giant darkness, welcoming a sliver of reflective sun. You're healing. Hello, good morning. You must be watching. Whose world is this? I wish you had listened to Nas when he told you it was yours. This world is yours. Instead, you asked, is life so fleeting that no part of this world really belongs to anyone? Is the earth a belonging of the sky or herself? Whose world am I? You must know now. I would like to think you might know. I wait in the orange sphere of the night for an answer to this impossibly eternal question. The floorboards of my childhood home creak. I know the exact places I used to tiptoe to avoid waking my mother. In my dreams, things are not always the same, but they are there, and I have not lost them. And your eyes are wide and blinking, and I can see them with my own wide, blinking eyes, and they are not forever closed, or even on their way closed, or bloodshot, or disintegrated into some flaming permanence, but wide, blinking, and so blue. The last time I saw you was not really you, but the reminder of the weight of your foot on the gas pedal of the car that you were so proud of buying. The sound of a working engine, your tires making tracks in my driveway. I think I can still make out your silhouette in the rear window. See the slight movement of your shoulder as you reach to turn up the stereo. Dear Oakland,
Antioch,
Vallejo,
Richmond,
Hunters Point,
Berkeley. I know about the aching. I've heard your call from my window for too many heartbeats, your sirens, your protest screams, your slam poems. I was birthed from Bay soil, so I know how this world has left you hurting, how it can be a scalpel that carves you into canyons,
but do not mistake yourself for anything less than whole. It takes 2 tries to get the heart monitor working. I am half naked, 12 wires blooming from my chest. My mother says this is not the kind of heartbreak her baby is supposed to experience. The doctor says I am so damn lucky, says this is what happens when a body must learn to feast on itself. I guess my heart is hungrier than most. Here is my heart on a silver platter. Do you see it beating there? My pulse is singing. It says you must run. Berkeley.
Please don't ever stop running.
Oakland.
Keep your anger wild.
Richmond.
Your holy hurting
Mission.
It is the only thing keeping us beating.
Remember,
right now, we are here, watching poetry on velvet seat cushions.
Right now, we are not sitting in the rain.
Right now, we are warm. We are safe.
Is this not something worth celebrating? Remember, there are people who are not so lucky, who march on the same streets they sleep on,
who are robbed of the right to their next heartbeat.
There are people ambulances are never called for. This is for them.
For the people who make poetry out of the ache.
For the sirens that cannot drown all this hope. For knowing it is impossible to flatline this city.
This is for the people of Oakland the world tries to forget.
For the people making themselves remembered. We are still here, still alive. This is